My name's Hannah. I'm one of the dietitians at Island Nutrition. We've just been asked to talk to you today about pregnancy nutrition and nutrition for conception. So over the next few minutes, I'm just going to talk you through some key points about a healthy pregnancy, basically. It's going to be very general advice, but if you feel like you want anything more individual or you have any very specific questions, then I'm obviously going to point you in the direction of either your GP, or if it's nutrition related, you're more than welcome to self-refer for an appointment with one of the dietitians here or other dietitians on Island. So firstly, congratulations. As if you're watching this, I presume you have decided that you're wanting to start a family, so it's very exciting. I was going to start by just talking about weight, as obviously as we get pregnant and move through pregnancy, we're going to see changes in our body shape and our body weight, and that's a sign of a healthy pregnancy. We are accumulating fluids to protect the baby as it grows, laying down fat stores, breast tissue is probably increasing as we prepare for breastfeeding. So it is healthy, and it's going to happen, but what we want is for it to be appropriate. So your targets for weight gain are going to change depending on your weight before you got pregnant. So if you were underweight beforehand, it would be encouraged that your weight gain would be a little bit more than if you were overweight before you got pregnant, where we're going to be wanting to avoid any excessive weight gain. If you're thinking about those kind of common myths about eating for two and things like that, I'm going to bust them for you, unfortunately. So the energy requirement increase for pregnancy is only about 200 to 300 calories, and we see that mostly in the last trimester of pregnancy. So not eating for two, basically maybe having an extra slice of peanut butter on toast and a banana a day. Whilst we're on the subject of weight as well, if you are having any problems conceiving, if you are overweight, then we can see benefits in gradually reducing that weight by about 1 to 2 pounds per week before pregnancy. So it can help with a more natural conception. If you are pregnant, we are not encouraging any form of dieting or trying to reduce our body weight during pregnancy. It would be more about maintaining a healthy weight through a healthy diet and working on those targets after we finish breastfeeding and we're ready to focus again. So if you're dieting and you're pregnant, please stop. Just eat healthily, and hopefully we can go through that with you today as well. In terms of what we actually need to be including, so whilst we're planning for pregnancy, one of our most important nutrients to consider is going to be our folic acid, and it is recommended that anybody of childbearing age who's planning on conceiving to be supplementing 400 micrograms per day. You can get folic acid in the diet through dark green leafy vegetables, nuts, fortified cereals, but it is often supplemented as well, just to make sure we're meeting those needs, because folic acid is really important in the prevention of neural tube defects, and the most important time to be taking it is within the first 28 days of conception, and often during those first 28 days we might not even be aware that we're pregnant, so it's better to take it in advance as part of the planning. Whilst we're talking about supplements, one to try and avoid is going to be excessive levels of vitamin A. So if you're taking any supplements containing vitamin A, I would recommend stopping those and looking for alternatives that don't have vitamin A, and also avoiding foods high in vitamin A like liver and liver products such as pate. Okay, other things to avoid just whilst we're on the subject are going to be some lifestyle factors. So if you're smoking, it's going to be recommended that we stop smoking, and also any partners or members of the household as well. So it has been associated with a low birth weight and birth defects. So working together as a household so that we're also reducing the risk of passive smoking too. In terms of alcohol, if you do drink alcohol, again, it's recommended to stop during pregnancy. We can't say that there's any safe level of alcohol intake during pregnancy. And again, from a partner's point of view, the alcohol intake can impact sperm quality and sperm count as well. So again, working through it as a team to limit alcohol and any smoking. In terms of caffeine, we would recommend no more than 200 milligrams per day. So that's going to be about the equivalent of 2 cups of instant coffee or 3 cups of English breakfast tea, or any other like caffeine containing teas. So not cutting out altogether, but just keeping a limit on it, keeping it moderated. In terms of what we should be eating, so we want that healthy, well-balanced diet. We'll just work through the different food groups. So basically your body's main energy source, we're talking carbohydrates or your grains and cereals. We want to try and choose whole grain versions. So these are going to provide their energy more slowly through the day. So that's things like rolled oats, brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat pastas, multigrain breads or crackers and cereals, and starchy vegetables like potatoes, corn, sweet potatoes, those sorts of things. So you want to be including them in small portions, about no more than about the size of your fist, at regular intervals through the day, like breakfast, lunch and dinner. Your proteins, so for growth and wound healing and repairing body tissues, we want to try and choose lean proteins. A portion is going to be about 4 to 6 ounces or size of the palm of your hand. So skinless chicken or turkey. We're talking fish, so any white fish, cod, wahoo, things like that. Portions of oily fish for your omega-3s, so some salmon or sardines, and then your lean cuts of pork or beef, so lean hamburger mince, and obviously your plant-based protein sources as well, so things like lentils, beans and pulses are another great source to include, really high in fibre, keep you full for longer. In terms of dairy foods, so we're talking any milk products, so yogurt, cheese, cow's milk. We want to try to choose low fat options, and when we're talking yogurts, we also want to be looking for the lower sugar versions, so around 7 or 8 grams of sugar per pot is going to be the natural lactose sugar from the cow's milk. Anything else has probably been added for flavour, so we want to try and avoid or limit those options. We want to try to get about 2 to 3 portions of dairy per day for your calcium and also your iodine. If you choose not to eat dairy for any reason, then it's just making sure that your plant-based alternatives, such as almond milk, rice milk, hemp milk, those sorts of things, are fortified with that calcium and the iodine for you, so that you can make sure you're still meeting your needs, or considering a supplement to top those back up, as if we're not meeting our calcium requirements during pregnancy, baby's going to take what it needs to develop those strong bones, which could strip your own bones and teeth and lead to risks such as osteoporosis in later life. The last thing to touch upon is just your fruits and vegetables. So it's recommended to try to get about 5 servings per day. So it breaks down quite easily, maybe 1 at breakfast, 1 or 2 at lunch, 2 in the evening, and maybe 1 as a snack. Fresh or frozen are equally as healthy, and if you're choosing tinned, then choosing ones that are in spring water or in fruit juice and draining away, rather than those in heavy syrup or anything in a high sodium brine or anything like that. A portion is going to depend on what it is, so if it's dried fruit, it's going to be about 1 tablespoon. If it's fruit juice, it's going to be a small glass, maybe about 5 ounces, and if it's things like fresh fruit, it could be 2 small tangerines or 2 small kiwi fruits, or about half a cup of chopped pineapple or some berries. With vegetables, maybe pushing more to one cup as a serving. So plenty of whole grains, protein, dairy, fruits and vegetables, healthy fats and oils finally, so trying to include things like nuts, about 1/4 cup as a portion, maybe as a snack or as a topping on some cereal, avocado, so 1/4 to 1/2 as a serving, and then heart healthy oils for cooking, so trying to choose your olive oil or your canola oil and olive based spreads if you like to spread on toast or a sandwich, limiting those saturated fats and those heavily refined processed foods that might be made with those saturated fats, like butter So things like pastries, cakes, cookies, and replacing them with the nuts or the fruit or the low sugar yogurt as some of your snacks. So like I said, some very top level advice there, but hopefully something useful for you. And if you wish to discuss anything in more detail, then like we said, you're more than welcome to self-refer. Okay, thank you.